Okay, so we are officially starting this session, this very first session of the network of clusters and other organizations supporting the cultural and creative industries. So you are all very welcome. And so I am moderating this session today. So my name is Maite Dobry. I'm from the Twist cluster that I will introduce a bit more later. But today we also have in this session the other partners of this project that will also have the opportunity to introduce themselves. And you will hear from them because they will talk about some the different activities of the project today. So we are, let me just change slide. So I was telling about, the project is coordinated by Basilicata CREATHRIV-EU, and Giovanni will introduce the project a bit later. And we have 3 other partners from different countries, but I'm not talking too much about that because Giovanni will do it later. So the first information that I want to share with you today is the fact that the CREATHRIV-EU project is one of the Euro cluster, and it's one dedicated to the cultural and creative industry, but we are covering some sectors of this industry and not all of them. And you can see on this slide the sector that we are covering. So heritage, archive and libraries. So also all activity related to museums, for example. Then a quite important one is audiovisual and multimedia, including IT, software, and some other services, book and press, visual arts, and performing arts. And you will see that this is, all the activities of the project are basically addressing these subsectors of the CCIs. So these are the participants of this session today. So normally we didn't forget any of the cluster and other type of organization that are here today, but we are really happy to have 10 clusters and other organizations supporting CCI present today from 10 regions. So we have Basilicata, Emilia-Romagna, Puglia from Italy, and also Venezia. But also Bavaria in Germany, and from Spain we have few regions represented also, Catalonia, Extremadura, Galicia. We have a cluster from Serbia also present, and from Belgium we have Wallonie and Brussels Capital Region represented today. So thank you to all to be here today, and we are really looking forward to be networking with you all. So why do we are we gathering all of you together today? So there are several objectives to this network, and the idea is really to start this network while the project is running, but the aim would be to continue like being in relation even after the project is finished. So the objective is to establish some links and partnership with other CCI clusters and other business supporting organizations. What we want to do is to give you the possibility to make your voice heard and contribute to develop some recommendation and call for actions targeted at the cultural and creative industry sector in Europe. So basically to have your feedback and opinion on what are the solutions to the main challenges that we have identified, but also to give you the opportunity to access some knowledge and to share your insight on the opportunities of your sectors, and to take part to some discussion on how to solve some challenges and issues, and also to get some insight from experts or from some speakers that are from our consortium or outside of our consortium. So now that I introduce you to the objective of this session, I'm just going to give you a brief overview of the program of today. So after I finish talking, we will do an icebreaker tour de table. Then Giovanni, the coordinator of the project, will introduce you to the project a bit more in detail. And then we are really happy to have Miss Silvia Draghi from the European Commission. She's policy officer and she works at DG for internal market, industry, and entrepreneurship and SMEs. She will talk about industrial policy and EU action to boost entrepreneurship for creative and cultural industry. Then we will present you with the program of networking activities that we have until the end of the project. And we'll have some time to have your feedback and to have a discussion about this program. And finally, my colleague from INOSCAR, Jolt, will present you with the grant opportunities for SMEs that we have in this project. Okay, so now it's time for the icebreaker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing the presentation for a moment. So basically we can see each other. If you want to open your camera now, it's the moment. So we have time to, not time, but we can see each other basically. So it's not an obligation, but you can do it if you want. So I'm going to explain how we will do that. So you have each person has 1 minute maximum because we are quite a lot and we have quite a lot of things to tell you today. So we will try not to talk too long. And what I'm going to ask you is, and I will start doing it so you will see how we do it, to take an object around you that represent yourself in a way or another, and to say a few words about yourself and maybe 2-3 sentences maximum about your organization. Okay? So I'm going to start, and then Ruta will continue, and then Giovanni, and then we'll see one after the other who will talk. Okay, so I'm grabbing this object. So I have this on my desk. Don't know if you can hear the bell. So why is this object represent me a little bit? Because I'm quite used to organize networking activities and to moderate discussion and to let people discuss and learn to know each other. And in a meeting we had in our cluster in Wallonia, we organized some speed dating recently, and I was the one also keeping the time, which I'm going to do that also today. So that was my object. And as I said, so I'm Maïté Dobry, and I joined the cluster CREATH recently at the end of September. And I'm managing the European activities, but also some working group and project that we have at regional level. And so our organization is called TWIST, and it stands for Technology from Wallonia for Image, Sound, and Text. And it's a business network and a community platform that fosters innovation and growth within digital industry. So TWIST has a strong network of some more than 100 members, and it's including 80% of SMEs, but we also have 5 TV channels, 6 university research centers, and some investment funds also that are part of our network. And we are supported by the public authorities also. And so we have developed an expertise in smart media markets, and more especially in the field related to live sport and entertainment and culture. So, okay, now I'm going to give the opportunity to Ruta to introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ruta. I'm from Baltic Film and Creative Tech Cluster. So the object is very classic, a coffee cup, full of coffee, of course. For me, it represents, because I'm not a morning person, so I take a lot of those in the morning. And as for my cluster, we're really fastly growing cluster of creative industries in Baltic region. So we need a lot of energy because we are very fast developing. Nice to meet everyone.
Thank you, Ruth. So maybe Giovanni, you can introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Giovanni Scaramuzzo from Basilicata Creativa. I take a bottle of water because I'm required a lot of time to adapt to the different environment, and so as Bruce Lee said in an interview, be water, my friend. I really like that interview, and so I think that this is something that represents me in this moment. And I'm working for Basilicata Creativa in European project development. And Basilicata Creativa is the cluster of creative and cultural industries in Basilicata, a pretty young cluster because we were born 3 years ago. And at the moment, we are also, apart from CREATHRIV-EU, we are coordinating the European Digital Innovation Hub for creative and cultural industries that covers 3 Italian regions in the south that are Puglia, Basilicata, and Campania. So, thank you, everyone.
Giovanni. So what I will do is basically I will follow the others that I see on my screen. So Enza.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you. I'm Enza Murano. I recently joined Exo Ricerca, so I'm working with Giovanni and at this moment with Basilicata Creativa cluster. And I don't have anything with me, but I don't know, I can say that this job already gave me the opportunity to travel, because for another Erasmus project we were in Spain, and my idea is to buy like bracelets in every country, and I don't have it with me because it's broken, of course, but I would like to collect bracelets or something like that I can wear, of course, but today I don't have. So.
Okay, so next time maybe you can show us.
Yeah.
Thank you, Enza. So Zsolt, you are the next one.
Okay, I have here, I have a book, if you can see it. It's a book in Hungarian. And actually we have already the first result of our project because Maita can pronounce my name in a very excellent way. She is one of the first persons in Europe who can pronounce my name perfectly, or almost perfectly. So thank you very much. I am a cluster manager of InnoSCART Digital Cluster, which is a cluster of 65 members focusing on digital technology, which might have several links to the CCI industry. I am new in this position, although I have been doing cluster management for more than a decade. I did run Omnipack packaging cluster. So now I am in a new position and I am happy to be here and in this nice project. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and also for your nice word, my pronunciation of your name. So now I will ask Silvia. So Silvia Draghi, you will talk also later, but you can say a few words maybe now.
Well, yes, I'm Silvia Draghi. Actually, I don't have anything that speaks about me here in the office. Oh, yes, maybe just a moment.
There's always something.
Well, I have an old dictionnaire du cinéma because I really like movies, and that's it. Of course, it's somehow related to the job I do because here in DG Grow, European Commission, I work on culture and creative industries, and cinema is part. I mean, the movie industry is part of the cluster of creative sectors that we call culture and creative industries. And yes, I will talk later, so I will have chance to tell you more about my job later.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so next, Nectaria, you are the next one.
Maite. Well, hello, I'm Nectaria Beriku. I represent Coralia, and in specific, Coralia participates in the CREATHRIV-EU project representing the GI cluster. Well, Coralia is an incubator, youth entrepreneurship accelerator, and multi-cluster facilitator who have been established in 2005. Since then, we have supported more than 500 innovative enterprises of all sizes to grow in Greece and internationally. We coordinate 3 innovative clusters in the fields of nano microelectronics, space technologies and applications, and the GI cluster focusing on gaming and creative technologies and applications. We have more than 175 members. We have a lot of initiatives to support overall entrepreneurship, focusing on youth entrepreneurship. I work for Coralia for more than 12 years. I'm the International Development Manager responsible for new ideas, the implementation of new proposals and new projects. And in order to be short, I will also put on the chat a recent documentary from Euronews for Coralia and how we support small businesses to grow. And I would be happy to connect and follow up on other activities. Nice to have you here. I believe that we will have a fruitful session.
Thank you very much, Nectaria. So the next one is, I'm trying to pronounce the name well in all the languages we have here. So Jesus, bravo.
Hi, good morning. We are from the cluster. She's Irene. She's working with me in practice from the tourism grade of the University of Extremadura. We are the cluster of tourism of Extremadura, and we are involved in two projects related to CCI with COSME project with Basilicata, Giovanni, and with Matera Hub, named Culture Data. And the other one started 1 week ago. It's named Dancing History. It's an Europa CREATHRIV project. And we think that the support to this project will bring us many important contacts. And we are here like a stakeholder, not like a partner. But if you need something from Spain, we are here to help you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We are also happy that you are here today. So the next one is Gilles Basler.
Yes, hello Maite. I have chosen an apple. I think it's like creativity is good for your health. So my name is Gilles, and I'm first of all I'm an entrepreneur, and I founded a company 15 years ago called Doc Studio, which is active in the creative and the digital industry, and it's now active in Mexico, USA, Amsterdam, and Belgium, of course. And I'm here because I'm also the director of an association called the KIK, which organizes a festival which is called the KIK Festival. And I think it's one of the biggest in Belgium and maybe in Europe, active in the creative industry. And we expect like 25,000 people each year here in Namur. It's in the south of Belgium. It's the capital of Wallonia. Hi, everyone.
Thank you very much, Gilles. And so the next person is Esther.
Sorry, Maite, just 1 second. I just excuse me already because I have to leave at 11.
It's okay. So we will record. You will be able to see the rest later. Thank you, Gilles. So Esther, you are the next one.
Yeah, hello. I'm Esther from the Catalan Audiovisual Cluster. We are a group of more than 165 companies and institutions from this sector in Catalonia. And this year we will be 10 years old. I already know some of you, or at least your organizations. We've been working with Puya Creativa, also with Twist. And we are part of a Spanish network of audiovisual clusters with also Mar Varela, who I can see is here. So, well, that's all. We would like to get you to get to know you all also in a European level, not just Spanish.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Esther. So the next one is Alexandra Lambert.
Yes, hello everyone. So my object is that shiny pencil because in my previous life I was the founder and the director of the Fashion and Design Center in Brussels, Mad Home of Creators. And now I'm since last December in a new position, and I'm the coordinator of a CCI platform. So I'm not a cluster, but we gather mainly partners and organizations that are in charge of CCI entrepreneurs. And we have three main focus. The first one is to to give visibility and to organize the network in Brussels. And we have, for the moment, we count more or less 300 organizations, but we have a main focus on 60 organizations for the moment who are gathered together. And the second focus is to identify the difficulties for entrepreneurs to be entrepreneurs in the CCI, and what are the problems and how we can solve them. And the last one is to focus on transition and sustainability for CCIs. So nice to meet you and nice to be in this network. And one of the demands of our member is to have an overview of the CCI ecosystem in Europe and abroad. So I'm really happy to be here and to know you all, all of you, sorry.
Much, Alexandra. Thank you. Yeah, although you are not a cluster, I think it's really relevant for our network. Thank you.
Okay.
There are still some people joining. So for the one that joined a bit later, just the idea that was you introduce yourself, taking an object around you that represents you, and say a few words about your organization. So the next one is Daniela Leo from Puglia.
Good morning, everybody. Here with me, I have lots of paper and a big calendar behind me, because I'm the person in charge of the Puglia Creativa secretarial activities. Puglia Creativa is a cluster born 10 years ago in Puglia and made of small and medium enterprises and association operating in the field of cultural and creative activity. And thanks to European and regional project of which we are partner, we organize events and matchmaking activities to support our enterprises in internationalization, innovation, and we are also engaged in the interaction with the political players of Apulia and also at a national level. And we are glad to be here today. Thanks for the invitation. And we are ready to cooperate with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Daniela. So the next one is Milica from Serbia.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. I will repeat myself because I also have a book that currently represents me. My screen is blurred. Let me just check that for a second. So this is the book and some other similar books on management and creativity that I'm doing now because I'm doing the master's in creative industries. Actually my previous 15 years of career have been dedicated to Serbia Film Commission that started in 2009. The cluster now includes around 65 companies, and my colleague Tanya also joined now the call. So she will be here in terms of coordinating anything that is relevant and needs to be communicated with our community. We are mainly dedicated to film production companies, but also have extended our operations more towards new technologies and gaming sector. So we do a lot of capacity building, training. We organize an annual conference on computer graphics. And in the meantime, we did a lot of advocacy and policy development in order to raise awareness about the importance of clustering within the creative sector.
Thank you very much, Milica. The next one is Joanna Lundan.
Hello and greetings from Finland. My name is Johanna and I'm representing a network of Finnish jewelry makers which are going to use digital methods in order to revolutionize our industry and our visibility and also shake up Finnish jewelry culture. And therefore, I have also selected a piece of old jewelry which describes me, because I think now we need to take both steps and make a big statement in order to make our industry blossom in Finland. And Jewels and Beryl works to preserve the domestic know-how of our industry and securing the business and employment, especially for the small entrepreneurs of the industry, and raising the awareness that Finnish-made jewelry is sustainable and responsible purchase that also sustains our own cultural heritage. So we are doing the heritage work as well.
Thank you very much. So next one is my colleague Pierre Collin.
Thanks, Maite, for organizing all of this. Pierre Collin is my name. I'm the manager of Twist. I have been managing Twist for 10 years, more than 10 years, 12 years or 13 years now. As an object that just behind me, you can see paintings or posters. So this is the way I'm thinking, more or less. You have from surrealism to Japanese print posters. You have different choices, and don't try to put me in a box. So that's what I mean. I like sports a lot also. So I'm covering a lot of these different kind of cultural, creative or cultural industries, and that's what I like, to taste everything like a box of chocolate, blah blah blah.
And chocolate is a good representation of Belgium also. So. Okay, so of course we're already running a bit late, but we have 4 more people. So I think some of the presentation later, we will make them a bit shorter, but it's okay. Because I think it's really important that as it's a networking event, that we have the opportunity to hear from everyone and to start to get to know each other. So next person is Tanya.
Hi, everyone. My colleague Milica already spoke in the name of Serbia Film Commission. So that's like, maybe I don't want to take a lot of time. So I'm working as a liaison coordinator for our members, since we have members which are production companies, gaming studios, VFX studios, and also I'm doing the coordination of our filming locations, actually filming locations in the whole Serbia. So that's the thing which I'm in charge.
Thank you very much, Tanya. And also I can see that everybody is sharing LinkedIn profile in the chat. So the networking is starting hard here. Maybe we can even share it later by email to each other, or if some people didn't have the opportunity to do it, but I think it's nice. And also we have a LinkedIn page for the project. So we will basically share that with you also after. So the next person is Nora. Nora.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you. I have a pair of earbuds to hear more and more good music. I'm the communication manager of Inoshkar, already introduced by Zsolt, who has a very beautiful Hungarian name. And our mission is to evangelize digitalization among SMEs. So that's all what I can say about that.
Thank you very
much.
Thank you, Nora. So the next person is Massimo Garuti.
Okay, sorry, I'm traveling, I'm driving. Tomorrow we have an important deadline at regional level for a call for proposal. So I'm running with the member writing proposals. My name is Massimo Garuti. I'm cluster manager of CREATE, that is the regional cluster for cultural and creative industries of the Emilia-Romagna region. We are focused on different value chains, one fashion, cultural heritage, multimedia, design, and so on. We have about 100 members. We are, by the formal point of view, an association, a no-profit association. Thank you very much for our invitation. I hope next time I will be able to follow the whole meeting. Sorry.
Thank you, Massimo, for joining, even though you are in a very busy time, because we know what it is to prepare submission of proposals. So,
yes.
Okay.
I am in my car, sorry. No.
Okay. And the last person is Mar Varela. I don't know. Yes. Mar.
Hello, good morning, everybody. Thanks for invitation. I belong to I'm the cluster manager from Galician Audiovisual Cluster. It's a non-profit association. It was founded in 2003. We are working during 20 years in the media sector. We have 55 companies and knowledge organizations of the all of value chain in the media sector. Produces contents, broadcasters, service, and nowadays we have the most relevant production companies in Spain with international business. We think this network is very important to connect all of ICC organization, and we are grateful to participate in it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mar. So yes, indeed, we are really happy to have you all. And now we are a bit late, actually, so I'm going to go directly to the presentation of Giovanni. Giovanni, if by any chance you manage to make it a little bit shorter, it would be amazing, but I don't want, of course, to rush you too much, but just so you know. So I'm going to share the presentation. So Giovanni will present you the project that actually is organizing this session. Okay, so I'm going to put in presentation mode, and Giovanni, just tell me when you need the next slide. So it's loading now. Okay.
Okay, so CREATHRIV-EU is a project that was born within this joint cluster initiative call for proposal launched by EISMEA in order to boost the economy after the COVID pandemic. And our project addresses specifically creative and cultural industries. That was one of the sectors most badly affected by the COVID pandemic. Next.
Yes.
The objectives, as required by the call, were very diverse. In our case, we decided to focus on building resilience, promoting the twin transition, supporting the capacity building within the sector, and internationalization. And how we do this through networking, firstly among the partner cluster, and then with other cluster at the European level, as we are doing today. The project approach, next one, Maite, is the partnership is made of 5 clusters from 5 different countries: Basilicata Creativa from Italy, Baltic Film and Creative Cluster from Lithuania, Inoshkart from Hungary, Twist from Belgium, and Coralia from Greece. You have met all of them today. The project approach is basically made of 4 core work packages The first one is about collecting all the relevant knowledge to address the challenges of the sector. So we have performed a desk research plus a survey with the SME in the creative and cultural industries, alongside with a map of knowledge gap at cluster management organization level. The second work package is a building bridges, that is this networking activity to put together all the relevant stakeholders within the CCI's ecosystem to discuss about the main challenges and how to solve them. The fourth, the third work package is building skills. In this case, we are working mainly at the level of cluster management organization. Then Nectaria will tell you some words about what we are doing. We would like to capitalize the knowledge of the most experienced cluster, and Coralia is probably the most experienced one in the consortium. And the last work package is building future, that consists in both activities on the SMEs, the management of the cascade funding for SMEs, and some international activities of the cluster to build a network also beyond the European Union. Putting together these work packages, we aim at supporting digitalization, green transition, and internationalization of the CCI ecosystem. The first results, next Maite, please. For task 2.1, that was the desk research I was referring to before, is that even if the sector is very diverse and heterogeneous, but audiovisual and multimedia is the main sector. In terms of the COVID impact, we found that the main issue for the company was the reduction of demand. We talk also about innovation, digitalization, green transition, and in this case, what we found is that innovation is very important for SMEs, even if they are facing major problems when accessing funding and infrastructure. Digitalization, as you all know, is a massive driving force in the whole CCIs, and green transition is perceived, but needs to be reinforced in some sector, above all in cinema. Then, as we knew during the drafting of this proposal, there is a skill gap in the ecosystem. In our case, 75% of the companies expressed this issue, and there is also a gender imbalance in the system that can be bridged through up and reskilling activities. And what we found in terms of internationalization is that nearly half of the SMEs don't have any international trade relationship, either within Europe or beyond. Next one. The other result was about the skills of cluster managers. The main weaknesses that are those we would like to address through activities under work package 4 are general management tools. There are some uncertainties about some tools like market analysis, pastel analysis, and so on and so forth. The knowledge about innovation theories and experience in IPR management, that should be reinforced. Also should be reinforced some more knowledge about organizational theories and change management, and increase the efforts in terms of internationalization support and drafting of supporting companies in drafting international trade agreements. Beside this, there is the theme about soft skills that needs to be reinforced. The other results of this work package was the launch of our call for grants that will be presented later by Jolt. That's all for me, and whatever question you have, feel free. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Giovanni. So you had the opportunity now to know a bit more about our project. And now I would like, so I'm going to stop sharing the presentation, and I would like to leave the mic to Silvia Draghi from the European Commission. So as I told you before, she's a policy officer at DG Group for Internal Market, Industry, Entrepreneurship, and SMEs. And I will let you speak now. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Maite, and good morning, everybody. I'm very happy to be here because to me it is important. I work on culture and creative industries, on policies and actions for culture and creative industries, and sometimes my work is very theoretical, so it is very important to me to be here and hear actually from organizations, company on the ground, what are the challenges they face, the issues, the solutions they find actually. So it is a test to me to see whether our actions are meaningful or not. So it is very important to me to be here. Well, I will try to be short, and because of time constraints. But it's true that I will very shortly speak about the industrial policy strategy we have. Well, first of all, the European Commission work on culture and creative industries in different ways. For instance, we have also a DG, the DG for Education and Culture, working on support of culture and creative industries with specific instruments helping, artist mobility, translations, movie distributions, etc. We, the Director General working on entrepreneurship, we work with culture and creative industries to foster, to boost the competitiveness of companies, of entrepreneurs, and to make them more competitive, to help them to start new businesses, to go international, to find business partners across Europe. Our, let's say, a policy document which is important because it establishes a number of objectives, of policy objectives, not only for culture and creative industries, but for all economic sectors, is the European Industrial Strategy. The Commission adopted this strategy, which is not a binding document. It's not a legal document. It's just guidelines and orientation for the sectors, for the industrial sectors. It was adopted in 2020, and there are three main objectives. The first one, we recognize that small companies are the backbone of our economy, and in this sense, we need to help especially small companies to become more resilient and face and cope with the challenges that we have nowadays, especially in this systemic crisis that we live in. And then the second and the third objective are very interlinked with one another, and it is the green and digital transition. We know that we need to turn our economy into a green economy, and we have to make our economy more digital and therefore more competitive. Very briefly, this is the European strategy on the European industrial strategy. So what we do at in DG Grow for culture and creative industries is of course linked with this. Our objective is to help creative companies and professionals to become more competitive. We know that the largest part of companies are small micro companies in the creative sectors, especially except for the industry, for movie industry or for fashion industry. Sometimes they are big companies. Very often they are one-person company, and we know that they are already very much resilient, because as they are creative, they always find ways around the problems they have to face. But we also know that they lack entrepreneurial skills, managerial skills, and that they are too small, so they do not have access to upskilling or reskilling trainings, etc., etc. We have a number. Let me go to my slide so I don't forget anything. We have a number actually of actions that we put in place through a funding program, which is the Single Market Program, which is the program that is funding also the clusters collaboration platform. And we have a number of actions that are cross-sectorial, but they include also culture and creative industries and culture, let's say creative companies. We have, for instance, an action which is Erasmus for young entrepreneurs, which means that if you are, it works like the Erasmus. If you are an entrepreneur, you want to acquire skills, you have the possibility through this program to spend some time in another country with a potential business partner, and learn from this company some skills that you will apply on your work afterward. We have, of course, the Enterprise Europe Network. The Enterprise Europe Network is the largest network of Chamber of Commerce in Europe in support of companies of every sector. And they provide support for building IPR strategies, for going international, for finding business partners, finding funds or financial opportunities. And they work across sectorial, but there are a lot of Chamber of Commerces across Europe working with creative companies. So it is something that sometimes creative businesses don't have in mind, but they could ask for help to this network. And we have, of course, the IPR SME help desk. This is also a European network that helps companies with their IPR strategy, with the protection of their intellectual property or copyrights. And this is especially important for professionals working on creative subjects. And then I would like to make a focus, if I have some time, on a project which is dedicated to culture and creative industries, is dedicated to designers and creatives. And it is the Worth Partnership Project. It is actually the only Europe-wide acceleration incubation program for designers and other creatives. And it works exactly as an acceleration program. It means the companies are helped, are supported along a mentoring period. It is a tailor-made support that is provided to this company to really develop their business idea. How it works briefly, and of course, I mean, it's not, it is business partnerships. So we support companies working with designers, or tech providers working with designers, or manufacturers working with designers and tech providers. So we support collaboration between businesses. And the idea is to provide, on one hand, entrepreneurial skills to designers and creatives, because we know they lack this kind of skills. But on the other side is helping tech providers and more traditional manufacturers to work with creatives, because the creatives and designers, they have a vision of the future. They have they are best placed to find the solutions to challenges that are environmental challenges or social challenges, or challenges that involves social inclusion, or different a large spectrum of challenges that they may have. So we give this a support. We have a call for proposals a call for expression of interest every year that starts in November. So we ask our community, but of course, I mean, our community, we want to reach out to as many companies as possible, as many creatives and designers as possible. So it is an open community, it's not a given one. And we ask to submit innovative business ideas. And they can apply through different means, actually, because as we consider that creatives, they don't always want to provide long applications, etc. We also ask for sketches, videos, or things that can give us an idea of their business idea in a more creative way. And actually, we select the best ones, and they are supported through a program of trainings and also a tailor-made mentoring program. So they are accompanied by one person who's expert in the field they want to develop their business ideas for 9 months until they have a prototype or a proof of concept that they can present. They have a number of networking events, they can participate in a number of trade shows. So it is a very professionalizing experience for them. And I can of course share with you the gallery of the projects we have supported so far, because there is a number of very interesting projects. For instance, we have clustered the project under different challenges. We have those dedicated to environment. We have those dedicated to reinventing the craftsmanship. Those dedicated to digital transformation, and a number of them are also dedicated to social inclusion. One important thing, this scheme applies to what we call lifestyle industries or design intensive industries. It means fashion and fashion accessories like eyewear, footwear, everything, and interior design and home decor. So these are the sectors interested by this scheme, but the scheme is actually interesting because it could be applied to many different sectors in the creative domain. I think I hope, yeah, I'm done. And if you, of course, I mean, if you have questions, I'm more than happy to answer.
Thank you very much, Sylvia, and thank you. It was really interesting, and also the information about the program. And indeed, as you accepted to join on a very short notice, maybe there was no presentation, but I guess you can share some links and after, so we can share with everyone.
Absolutely.
And I think it was an inspiring example that you gave. I just want to say, and as you said, it can be applied to other subsectors of the CCIs, just because in the CREATHRIV-EU project, we are not really focusing on design and fashion, but I think it's totally relevant example of model of supporting and putting in relation business and people, etc. So are there any questions for Sylvia? you can use the raise your hand if you want. And also, and if you don't come up with a question now, but one is coming later, you can also send it by mail to me, and then I can ask Sylvia the question. Okay, thank you so much. So now I'm going to move on to the next part of our program, which is basically explaining you how, because this is the very first networking session that we have, but we have a plan for the months to come. So I'm going to show you that and sharing my screen. Just a moment up. So I need to and if you have questions later for some of the speakers of today, you still have opportunity to ask your question later, and you can also ask your question in the chat box. Okay, so as I said, the intention today was really to kick off the network, but we would like to have on a regular basis until the end of the project some session. And our idea is to focus each session on one of the challenges that we have identified exist in the cultural and creative industries. So the topics are quite large, but we are also happy to discuss with you if there are some specific aspects of these topics that you find particularly relevant. And the idea is to have a session every three or 4 months, more or less. So I put a specific order in the challenges chronologically, but of course we can also change the topics and in which months it will come. So one of the topic is the use of technology in the heritage archives and libraries. So basically using innovative products and service and content based on technology in this specific sector. So for example, it can be the use of technology in a museum to make a special experience for visitors. So I'm just giving an example, and how it can also boost this sector to use innovation and technology in these subsectors. The second one is the green transition in audiovisual and arts. So supporting the reduction of carbon footprint in the audiovisual and multimedia sector and in performing arts. So for example, can be all projects related to reducing the carbon footprint in film production, for example, but also in other of these sectors. Another important challenge in the skills and gender balance in this industry. So Giovanni mentioned it already in his presentation, but the idea is the challenge is to bridge the skills gap in the CCI's workforce and supporting a bigger participation of women, and to really see it as an opportunity for the sector to grow, because so many nice talent are probably missing at the moment with this lack of women. Another big challenge, and I think we heard it in different presentations, also Sylvia mentioned that there are many initiatives supporting the industry to go international and to fight synergy, so increasing business opportunities through internationalization and synergies along and across the value chain. So it's a bit what Sylvia was explaining, to put, for example, some businesses in contact with creative or with designers, so, and to have different parts of the value chain that are collaborating more. And the final one is the support through investment and innovation policies, of course, which is a key point also for this industry. So the growth of investment and capital raising in the industries from public and private sources, and innovation policies to support all this. So I'm going to explain. So these are the topics, and we want to have one session, each session focusing on one of these topics. And in each of the session to have a guest speaker presentation. So someone that has an expertise or some experience related to the challenge that provide you some insights. As we will fund some project through the CREATHRIV-EU Cascade funding. An idea is also to have some people that receive funding that share their experience related to one of the challenge. And then each time to have a discussion with all of you, and so you can share your feedback and your knowledge on your ecosystem and the kind of solution that you found, or the kind of solution that you think should be found. And also to give in each session to leave a little bit of time to have open discussion on other topics for collaboration, for example, on European project collaboration or economic missions that you think would be interesting to organize between some countries, or exchanging on regional or national ecosystems. So, yeah, and so the outcome that we want to have from all these activities, to, based on the discussion and the insight that you will have shared, that the creative project drew a set of recommendations for each of the challenge. So really taking the ideas that were shared in the network and to put them in form of a small publication with the recommendation for the support of cultural and creative industries in the specific subsector that we have mentioned and for these specific challenges, basically. And that we disseminate this publication at EU, national and regional level, so that you will be able to share also in your own ecosystem. So that's the plan that we want to propose. And what I want to ask you, I'm checking the time. What time is it? So we have, like, let's say 10 minutes to ask you what you think about this plan. If you think you would be interested to, if you have any comments, if you want to, if you think you will join, if we would organize the session like that. So don't hesitate to just raise your hand or speak if you want to give your feedback about the number of sessions and the regularity, or maybe some interaction that you would like to have in these sessions, or maybe the type of speaker or expert that you think would be interesting to have. So now it's your time to give your opinion about all that. And Gilles is saying that he has to leave. So thank you for being here. And we will, of course, we will give feedback after the session. So anybody wants to, or you think the plan is perfect, maybe? Pierre, I think that you are unmuted.
Yeah, maybe just to start the discussion, because here it's a discussion, it's an open discussion. Maite has put things on the table, but of course, if you want to do the things differently, we just have to reshuffle the cards, so it's not a problem. So I think that maybe my question is the following one, because I am like somebody outside of the box here. I didn't participate to the way Maite has organized all that, but do you think that trying to understand the needs of every cluster here present could be also a good start, just to understand how to orientate the discussions in the future, or it could be organized later? I don't know how what the other clusters think. The goal is just to try to start the discussion in a bright way.
So maybe just a simple question: what is your expectation from this kind of network, basically? Do you want to talk to each other? Do you want to learn some...
To develop European projects? It could be many things.
Everybody is shy today, or what's going on?
I think, Maite, that we were posed the challenge when we were funded, that we will provide, let's say, the European Commission with the solutions that bottom up ideas. So this is the reason why sitting around this table, and I think that you know, this is the only way we have to play an active role also in the policy making at European level, and to have our voices heard by the European Commission. So this is the reason why it's important to be here. This is my, let's say, high hope about this this networking activity. I wouldn't like to have just ideas that comes from above without saying anything, and taking into consideration that you know, our ecosystem is made of thousands, millions of very small companies that find it difficult to be heard. Our role as a cluster managers is to be, let's say, to talk on their behalf. So it's nice that we can stay here together.
And also, if you, as I said, if you can also, of course, give your feedback by email later, and we can collect all your ideas. And we can think of the suggestion of Pierre also to start from your needs. But I hope, yeah, you find the program interesting. And as Giovanni said, the idea is really that the opinion and the knowledge of the ground from each of the regional cluster here can be basically communicated to the European Commission in a bottom-up approach, as Giovanni just said. So
you have a question in the chat, Maite.
Okay, so Alexandra is saying that she's in an open space, so maybe it's a bit noisy. And the question is it possible to add a topic about the different CCI's ecosystem and a presentation of them in Europe? I'm just trying to understand the question.
You mean probably there are the different sectors, as we said, the CCI ecosystem is pretty diverse, and probably Alexandra is referring to the different subsectors that make the CCI, because as we said, under CCI we have audiovisual and multimedia, performing arts. Probably is this that you are referring to, Alexandra?
I think it's a nice idea. So basically it would be, so Giovanni, maybe, yeah. I guess it's to share information among us and also to the Commission, giving some information on what the different cluster and other organizations are doing. And
and probably I see, you know, we found that audiovisual and multimedia is the most represented cluster in the CCI, but there are also other sectors that are worth including, and probably we will make an extra effort to have also other sectors represented around this table. Otherwise, we will have just movies, digital companies, and you know, the sector is pretty much heterogeneous. So I see a relevance in you know, having all sectors represented. Also because I think that there could be common challenges that we are not perceiving at the moment. So it's better to hear the voice of people from cultural heritage, libraries, performing arts.
And if we are talking in terms of revenue figures, the most important one in Europe is the one related to fashion, no? And the second one to design, and the third one to the media, so audiovisual industry. So we are okay. So of course, design and fashion have to be addressed also, I think, and this is a very good remark.
And also why some regions are focusing on some sectors and not the others. interesting topic, probably on how to cluster companies in the same sector and to understand why in some regions some sectors have been more successful than the same sector in other European regions. Yeah, it's nice discussion to have. Probably we will need the involvement of let's say experts in the field, and also in terms of policy initiatives that were implemented in some specific regions or country to promote a specific sector. I think that this is something that we will address in that session that Maite was presented before about investment and policy initiatives for the CCI.
Okay. Just something I forgot to mention, actually, to support this network, there's something I would like to ask all of you is it's a kind of formalization of our collaboration. We have a memorandum of understanding that we would like to ask the different clusters and organizations here if they are okay to sign with us. So basically, it's not binding legally, or it's just to have written on paper some the idea of the collaboration between CREATHRIV-EU and your clusters, and that would help us also in our project. So this is also another follow-up I will do after this meeting, is to share this memorandum of understanding to ask you if you are okay to sign it with us. And there was a last remark from Alexandra that she said that it could be nice to have an overview of the main cluster and organization active in Europe. So there is the Eurocluster platform basically also that is providing information about the different cluster, and I think you can filter by type of industry, type of activity. But it's true that it would be nice to have it also for this specific network also, and we can think a bit about how we could do that and to propose something in the next session maybe. And Alexandra is asking the link if someone can, Ruta, you can send the link to the Eurocluster platform. Yeah, okay. Mani was fast. Okay, so maybe there is one more. I don't know if anyone wants to say anything about this discussion, or we move on to the last point.
Yeah, what I think is that we don't need to be shy, because the best of knowledge is that can be freely shared. So we have our experience, and if we share with each other, we will grow stronger, in my opinion. So this is the aim also of being here.
And I think, yeah, and one thing is I think that this session will all be online, except if I'm wrong, Giovanni, but I don't know if we will have the opportunity to meet face to face. So yeah, we do as best as we can to create this networking environment, even if we are online. So
yeah. Sorry, my link was wrong. Thank you, Ruta, for correcting.
Okay, so the last point of this meeting is basically to introduce you to the cascade funding that CREATHRIV-EU is organizing, that is currently open. I think it's quite interesting for the SMEs that you have in your ecosystem. So I will let Jolt present this, and I will share the slides. Just a second, I have to find my slides again. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. So I am very happy to be here, since I know a little bit the film industry also in Hungary and in Europe, and I know that the film industry is a kind of pioneer industry all over the world regarding greening. So that's why I am curious to have several nice innovation activities from Europe, from this sector. And I would be also curious to see about the other subsectors which I am not really aware of. So that's one of the reasons. The other one is that you know that Hungary is a kind of capital of film shooting. You might know that even Evita was shot in Hungary. So if you see houses in Buenos Aires, actually they are buildings in Budapest. And all Marvel films are shot in Hungary, and Bruce Willis is coming here regularly. So we have even whole film villages, let's say, around Budapest. You can go on, Maite. So now I will be very concrete, because I would like to show you what kind of cascade funding is available for SMEs in Europe. Of course, this is not very detailed, since you have the guide for applicants, where you can find transparent information about the whole process and about the eligibility and all kind of criteria. But we have 4 specific challenges. One of them is the diversification of product, services, and content based on digital technologies, mainly in the heritage archives and libraries of CCI sector. The second one. Yeah. The second one is supporting the greening of the audiovisual and multimedia sector and in performing arts, as it was already told before. The third one is bridging the skill gaps in the CCI workforce and having a bigger participation of women workforce. And the fourth one is increasing the business opportunities through internationalization. So that's about the 4 specific challenges. And now I would like to get back to the call itself. Who can be the target audience? So who can apply? So SMEs can apply if they declare, it's a self-declaration, their SME status. And of course, this definition is the European Union definition. The applicants must fill a self-assessment. The activity or the activities of the companies must be falling under one of the NAC codes. You can find it also in the guide for applicants. And there is a territorial scope. So basically, SMEs from all over Europe can apply. But if there is a kind of same scoring, the E13 countries will have a priority. Actually, it is also written down. E13 countries are basically the, let's say, the Eastern European countries plus Malta and Cyprus. And of course, the application must meet one of the specific objectives and challenges. Yes, Maite? So what about the cascade funding? So then we speak about lump sum grants. You will see that there are different lump sum grants, but the total amount cannot exceed 38.5 thousand euro. Actually, in some other Euroclusters, it's different. Now we decided that this is the maximum. So, but of course, you can get access to multiple schemes, multiple grant schemes. Yes, and so as you also see that each SME can apply to one or several types. They can have a travel grant, they can get a pilot grant, but this is the cumulative threshold. Yes, might have it go on. Yes, so I start with the small scale projects. Small scale, it means 5,000 euro per SME. And companies can use this money actually to get access to advisory services, which will help them to create the necessary conditions for the competitiveness. And then we can speak about different activities. It can be risk mitigation, risk management, greening, green transition, internationalization, technology innovation. Again, it is detailed in the guide for applicants, but actually it is detailed, but not very much detailed, because we would like to have a wider scope, of course, and we would like to have as many applications as possible, good applications. So that's why we do not have a very detailed application form or application process. You can go on, Maite, please.
It's again
and also small scale projects can be used for reskilling or upskilling via training activities, capacity building activities in the following fields, which you can see here. Yes, we can go on. The biggest amount you can get actually is 20,000 euro for one project. And this is for the greening and digital transition of the SMEs in the field of CCIs. Here, there is a must to collaborate with another association. It doesn't have to be another association from the same country, actually, but from the same territory. And I would like to emphasize that the other organization can be an SME, but it can be a large company, it can be a university, it can be a research center. So all kind of organizations, but the money will be dedicated to the SME, and of course the SME can share it with the other with the co-applicant or with the other organization. It's not a co-applicant, and with the other organization. And here there is a kind of concrete mentioning of the implementation of the project. So the prototypes must have a minimum level of CRLR or a TRL level. And the two activities which might be supported are the deployment of emerging technology and the improvement of existing technology or existing product. Again, the guide for applicants have some guidelines for that. Maite, we can go on. Thank you. We have also travel grants. So if you would like to travel to a business fair, or you would like to participate in a business mission, either in Europe or in the US, let's say, and of course these conferences or these business exhibitions must relate somehow to the CCI industry, then you can get access to these two types of travel grants. Okay. So here is a page about the whole timeline, actually. So now we see that the call will close on the 2nd of May. And then we have basically 2 months, a little bit less than 2 months for the evaluation. I didn't speak about the evaluation, but also again, it's in the guide for applicants. It's transparent, and of course all the applicants will be informed even if their application is let's say negative. Then the contracting phase is somewhere in summer, and after the project, after the signing of the contract, you can start the real work. Yes. Yes. Again, now I don't say again, but you have to take care of having a deep look on the guide for applicant. And again, it's a little bit different from other Euro clusters, that the applications must be submitted online, of course. It's not different, but there is a special page, F6S, which is very difficult to pronounce actually for me. So you should have a look at this page, and then it's relatively easy to publish your application or to submit your application there. Of course, it has to be in English. I think it's logical, and double funding must be avoided. I think this is the last one, Maite.
Yes, indeed.
So hereby, I would like again to share the information with your partners, with your cluster members, because this is really a good possibility for the CCI industry to do something to show their innovation, and we are ready to help you, of course, during the whole process. We have a FAQ as well, so if you have any questions, this will be responded in the FS6 platform. It's too difficult.
And maybe Ruta, you can mention the event taking place next week.
Yeah. So on April 6th, we'll have info session, and I'll share the link to the event as well. So if you wanna join and ask any questions or send the link and share it with your companies, you're very welcome. I'm sending the link right now.
So yes, today we wanted to present this opportunity to the clusters and other organizations, so you can also communicate in your networks. And next week the session is targeted at SMEs mainly, so really like guiding them and explaining how to submit their application, etc. But also if you want to participate, so you are able to explain after to the SMEs in your country or in your region, you are also welcome to participate. So we are just on time, basically. Maybe before we close, I can ask if there are any questions or any remarks, any final remarks. Okay, so I hope it was interesting for you. As I said, we will follow up with all of the participants with the presentation and the link to the different programs we've been talking about. So we will also share the calendar, because at the moment we just shared like the months of sessions, but we will share with you a more detailed calendar of the upcoming sessions. And I will also send you this memorandum of understanding, because for us it's quite important to have like a formal document showing the collaboration between us. So I would like to thank you all for your participation, and I hope to see you in the next session. To have, if you want also to talk about this network to other organizations that you know in other regions or other countries that were not present today, you are most welcome to do it, because the more it's good if we can grow this network. So I will finish this session now. So I stop the recording. And